Hi guys, it's me Ty coming from my permanent home here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and be giving you part two of about buying a motorcycle here in Cambodia. So when I was at the Honda dealership, I also talked to them about the Zoom X Honda motorbike, and that's what my landlord actually has. And the difference between this bike and like all the ones I previously talked about, or any other Honda bikes, is that this one here, the seat folds off, lays off to the side or whatever, and there is no storage space underneath of the seat. And then also to fill up gas in it, it's down on the floorboard, which I do not like that, because the water here during rainy season gets over a foot deep, and I really worry about, water going into your gas tank. You're gonna have tons of issues and all that. So what the dealer told me about this Honda Zoom X is that it's air cooled, brand new. It is $2,100, and it is 110 cc, and like I said, it has no storage under the seat. Let's see what else about it. Oh yeah, I asked my landlord too. I was like, how reliable has that thing been? And he said that he's had problems with it. He did not tell me what problems he had with it, but he's had problems. And also, he doesn't look like the type of person that really does any maintenance either, because his bike is really beat to heck. One of the tail lights, the lens has a hole in it, so all the rain's going to get in there and affect your signal lights, rust for connections. I think both the signal lights on the back are broken, so they're just freaking hanging by the wires and all of that. So, oh yeah, and then also the brake light, that the plastic lens on that is broken, so rain's gonna get in there and cause corrosion. Pretty soon he's gonna have electrical issues there too. So, and then the next type of bike is the Honda NCX GR, and that actually looks like a mini bike from the US. You see those little motorcycles that the adults will ride. They look like a dirt bike, but they're a mini bike, and you hop on it there, and your knees are sticking completely off to the side. And those are air cooled, and they are $2,600 brand new, and they have the big 125 cc engine in them. And yeah, they have no storage under the seat. There is no storage compartments on this, so you won't be able to store anything on there. And yeah, honestly, I think they look ridiculous. A miniature version of a dirt bike. I mean, why wouldn't you get a full-sized one? And then what else do we have out here? No. And then we also have the Honda Airblades. They're not very common here. It's mostly the school teachers that are commuting here from Vietnam. They actually drive that 125 cc Honda Airblade, and they look just like a Honda Click, just a little bit cooler plastic on them and stuff like that. And actually, one of my roommates had one, and that thing was really fun to ride, because underneath the seat he kept his helmet there, and then on the back of it he put a little storage box there or whatever, and it looks really good. And he had his second helmet for when his brother would ride. So he actually gave me rides around town, and I just paid for the gas, and we explored the city. So and when he would get on that motorbike, it would go. And like I said, it's a scooter. It's a fully automatic one. You don't have to, there's no shifter, nothing. It's got a floorboard under it and all that. So that's a really nice bike. But they don't make the Honda Airblade anymore. They didn't have any at the dealership anyways. And then the other type of bike you'll see around here is the Honda PCX, and that is a big 250 cc scooter. And one of my roommates, him and his Chinese girlfriend here, they just bought one, and they paid $600 used for it. So you can find good deals. So you're gonna find here in Asia, even the big motorcycles that look like a Harley and stuff, they're only going to have a 250 cc engine. That is considered the big monster engine around here. And the PCX, that's considered like a 3-seater scooter, so they'll have the big 250 cc engine in them too. And then the last bike we're going to talk to is the Honda Today, and they are a little moped. They look like a miniature version of the Honda Scoopy, and I've seen them around town here. and they're really slow because I can actually talk about Honda or about mopeds because growing up, our neighbor kids had one, and you know, growing up in the 1990s and early 2000s, I'm not sure if theirs was for like from 1970s or 1980s, but I do remember it was so slow because we'd ride around in the pasture, and we knew that we couldn't outrun any of their buffalo because their parents had a buffalo ranch. And I just actually called up my buddy there because his mom and dad just actually gave away their 50cc Honda moped to one of their cousins instead of keeping it for their grandkids. And he said that going downhill you could get up to 30 miles an hour, and going uphill it'll go 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then on the level, which we don't have any hills here in Phnom Penh, they go 15 to 20 miles an hour. And like I said, this might have been a 70s or 80s model, but because it almost looks like the ones around town here seem to go faster than that. But I've seen a lot of Khmer guys with their fat Khmer girlfriend will be hop on the back or whatever, and the suspension will just bottom out, like no ground clearance, and you can hear the drivetrain just making noise. I think that stuff must be rubbing against the tires and everything on it, and it's a fully automatic transmission in there, and that little transmission is working so hard with that little engine that engine is just roaring, just about making you go deaf. And then sometimes you'll see like my landlord, well, I've actually got 3 landlords. My landlord, him and his wife, they have one Honda today. It's a red one, and instead of just the rack in the back, they went ahead and they added the little seat on there. And the mom, she'll go ahead, she's a pretty big lady, she'll haul the 2 little kids, they're probably like 7 or 8, to school each day, and hers doesn't seem to roar, you know, if you keep it idle down or whatever. But I walked across the river here where there isn't much traffic and not much business over there, and I saw, and you don't hear the other traffic or whatever, and I saw a guy on there, and he had one of his brother's pretty skinny on it or whatever, but they were flying down the road, and that thing was just roaring too. So it's something you would just commute to school with, to your job, and commute home, and other than that you'd walk everywhere, just, you know, not to wear out that machine or anything. So yeah, I'd actually thought about buying one, but all the international schools away from Riverside, from Royal Palace, they're an hour and like 6 minutes walk, and that's really pushing it with it. And then I just looked at another school that had an opening here, and they're 2 hours away from Riverside, and I just don't think the Honda today is going to be too practical, but they are very affordable. I looked on the Khmer 24 website, and the cheapest ones of those are $140 to $170 for a used one. They're pretty scuffed up and all, but that was the ones that are within 10 years old. But they quit making those too, because I asked the Honda dealer about them too when I was in the showroom, and they said no, they discontinued the Honda today. And a lot of people thought they quit making them in like 2013 or 2014, so the newest ones are about 9 or 10 years old. So and my landlord, like, so when I talked to him, he said if you buy the Honda Dream or the Honda Scoopy brand new, they're expensive to buy, but when you sell them in 15 years, you get a lot of money out of them. They hold really good resale value. Whereas if you're going to be buying like the Honda today, their resale value really went down. So honestly, with the Honda today's, you guys, I would not pay very much money for them. You know, they're so old, and I've heard of some of those Honda today's with that little engine, they've got 25,000 miles on them. It's amazing how many miles people have on their bikes here. Like one of the girls I met in Thailand, I rode on her bike, and it was like a Honda Click, and that thing couldn't have been over 10 years old, and she already had just about 89,000 kilometers on it. So these people drive the snot out of this stuff. So oh, and then another thing to look at when you buy them, make sure it has a license plate, and make sure it has a registration card that looks like a little driver's license with the picture of the owner on it. He has to give you that, and that registration card, he has to match the license plate on the motorbike. And then also, they said when you flip up the seat on the frame underneath the seat, that that number on the registration card, had better match what's on that on the frame or whatever, or else that means that motorbike is stolen. And it costs $60 to go to whatever government office it is around here to get it changed over and get your picture put on it, so you legally own it and have proof. And my one of the Khmer guys also told me, when you buy a motorbike, make sure that you get the owner to sign a purchase agreement, so you have that all on paper that you're buying their motorbike for this price in as is condition. And then also, if you're one of the guys around here, I've heard of some of the locals that bought one of these motorbikes, and they said, oh, I'm not gonna spend the $60, I'm just gonna live here 2 years or whatever. Guess what? They have police stops all over here on Riverside, all over on any major road. It doesn't have to be a major road, where the cops pull you over, and if you don't stop, they call in on the radio and somebody will stop you at the next checkpoint. And they check to make sure you're wearing a helmet, and they pull over plenty of people with helmets already. And then also, so what one of the girls that works the stores told me, they're checking for to make sure you have proper registration and license plate on there. They will go ahead and they will pop that seat and make sure that that sticker matches what's on your ID card. And I would not carry your ID card on the bike in case it'll get stolen, but at least have a photocopy that you keep folded up underneath the seat of the bike to show the police that you actually are the owner of that bike, or else they will seize and impound it. So, all right, if you guys like this content, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll keep kicking them out here from Phnom Penh, Cambodia. All right, bye.